beautiful, blessed people of God. Happy Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. It's Hot Wednesday. Whatever we want to call it today, it's all of that and then some. But I say good morning to each and every one of you. I hope and I pray that your hearts, your minds, your bodies, your spirits are well, and your soul are well on today. I say good morning to all of my platforms. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. I still have to work on getting us over to TikTok. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. God willing, we will make it over to TikTok. But I say good morning to each and every one of you. Got to stay on top of the medications. It is a high allergy season and it's hot. I got my little fan with me this morning. I said, girl, you be doing the wrong thing. I charged it up last night. So I got my fan. Let me see what's the degrees out today. I hope the sound don't bother you all, but if it does, you just gonna have to make it one of them lo-fi vibes. Make it relax you because your girl cannot be hot. Let's see. Weather here in New York City. Oh, baby, we got a heat advisory. It is already 80 degrees. It is already 80 degrees out in New York City. Good morning, Queen Carol. And it is going up to a high of 92. Y'all, I need to put some shorts on to go out here and see these folks. You know what? To God be the glory. I'm going to look for some casual, professional like shorts to wear because it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. So, but normally I like to wear when I go into people's homes that I don't know. I do like to wear. I thought I changed this in the name of Jesus. Let me see. Do. Carol, I remember you saying. Okay, let me see that it was too small. Let me see. Can I? It's not going. Let me see. All right. Does that make it? I don't know if that makes it better on your end. And I don't really want that showing because that's kind of annoying. I don't know if that makes it any bigger on your end. Carol, you can test it out and let me know. But I do recall you saying, oh, it was the font is small and there was a way, but it doesn't seem to save. I don't know. Okay, it kind of looks the same. Good morning, Leslie. Blessings to you on this hot day here in New York City. Welcome to New York City. Did it switch? Let me see. Did it switch? I'm trying to watch it as well to see if it switched because there is a way that you can put all the chats up. Well, not all the chats. Sorry, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube up, but I don't really want it sitting up on the screen like that. There's a slight breeze. Well, that's good news. That's good news. I don't really want this up here. Here we go. Yeah, that's good news that it is a little bit. There's a little breeze out because it's hot. It's going to be a hot day, and I really need to make certain that I have my cool, comfortable, casual clothes to wear so that I'm not out here sweating and carrying on. So, but I say good morning to every one of you. I do not believe I'm going to be here on the line long because I'm hot. I got things to do. There's things I should have done yesterday that I did not do. And I'm certainly not beating myself up over it. But Oh, okay. It's even hotter over here near me. I'm actually about to head your way this afternoon. So, look, if it's a little bit cooler, look, to God be the glory. But I have a lot of stuff to do, and I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday like I should have, because yesterday was my actual day off, and I didn't take on the task that I really should have done. I did like the bare necessities. That's what I did. But today I really do need, and I need to straighten up my room. My room is in a disarray. Um, because I'm in the middle of trying to switch out. You know how what it is like when you have your summer clothes boxed up, packed up, and now the weather's starting to act up. It's 80 degrees already, and so it's like, wait a second, you need something a little bit cooler. So it's like I'm in that transitional stage between pulling out the summer clothes, the spring clothes, and packing away the sweaters and such. Good morning, Joyanne. Blessings to you. So I'm in that kind of transitional phase, and I've been ordering some clothes, and so I need to start, packing away the boot. So like I'm kind of like in a transition here. I do have space to walk around. To God be the glory. I'm not tripping on nothing, but I do just want to tidy up my space a bit. I think that that helps with my mental health as well, right? When things look organized, things are kind of tidied up, it kind of helps everything. So that's a wellness Wednesday tip. Everybody start straightening up their place, making sure everything is where it needs to be, and that it's an easy find for the mental space. But yeah, I don't foresee myself being on here long because I really am hot. I did get up this morning, and I don't know if I'm the only one. You guys can chime in and tell me if I'm like the only one that does this. I do not have a diagnosis of OCD, ADHD, anything of those alphabetical persuasions, none of that. However, like when I get up in the morning to go to the bathroom, I start cleaning up the bathroom. I don't know if anybody else does that. I just automatically start cleaning up the bathroom. And it doesn't matter what time it is. Like I can be just getting out of the bed, um, needing to get started on a project, needing to get on the live. And for some reason, when I go into the bathroom, my brain switches into OCD mode. And now I gotta take out the trash. Now I gotta wipe the toilet seat down. Now I gotta wipe the sink down. And I'm like, girl, like you got stuff to do. You don't have time for all of this. And so every morning it seems I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, and I'm cleaning up the bathroom. Again, I don't know what kind of OCD thing this is, but that's the story of my world lately. So I got up this morning. I did set the alarm clock, trying to get me up out of the bed just a little bit earlier than normal, so that I wasn't rushing to get on the live, and that I was able to just kind of, casually get here. I did fairly well. I made it on time. However, I still was pitter patting around, taking out the trash, wiping down the toilet seat, wiping off the sink, all of this stuff. So I need deliverance apparently. But I got up this morning, I cleaned them, so I can say I can. Thank you, Carol. So I'm not the only one that has this kind of quirkiness to myself, but at least I could say I accomplished that, right? So in the midst of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. At the very least, I can say, well, at least the bathroom's clean. So I got that taken care of. And then what's funny about it is because I take the bathroom trash and I dump it into the big trash in the kitchen. Now I'm in the kitchen wiping down stuff in the kitchen. And I'm like, girl, 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 girl. Like if you don't get your little life all the way together, um, like stop it, right? Stop it. Exactly, exactly. You figure you might as well do it while you see it. You might as well do it. And I've asked my sons, I'm like, do y'all not see when the sink gets dirty? I just had to ask that question. I'm like, is it that something is blocking your vision that you cannot see it? because when I go into the sink, I automatically see if it's dirty, if there's a spot, if there's residue or what, like I automatically see it. And I don't like to see it. And so then I have to wash it out. But it seems like I am the only one that can see it, Leslie. Maybe we've got some supervision. Maybe all of the spiritual insight that the Lord has given us is causing us to be able to see things that other people don't see in the natural. So we've got to be mindful of that, right? And so there's, yeah, okay, so yeah, so you have, there are things that you do just to tidy up, but then it's like when you get into one space, then you start cleaning up another space, and then then you're running trying to get back to where you're supposed to be. But neither here nor there. Good morning, travel ladies. Blessings to you. I'm on Instagram. So I am, like I said, I'm not going to be before you all long because I'm hot. um I've got to I'm hot, and I don't really want to sit here. um oh, that's what they tell you, Leslie. They tell you that they got a mom, a better mom. Okay, yeah, yeah. They take advantage that we are the ones that see the dirt, and they quote unquote don't. Or they figure like somebody else will do it. They're like, so everybody sees it, so somebody else will do it. I don't have to do it. And then I always tell them, I'm like, who would be that somebody else? Who would be the somebody else that would clean it up other than mom? And I say, is it fair to always leave everything up for mom? Or mom will do this, or mom will do that, mom will do, like, why don't you just take the initiative and do it? So it would be nice if children would just start taking initiative. If other people, not even children, because it's not just children, grown folks do it too. It would be nice if other people start taking the initiative. If you see the trash filling up, take out the trash. If you see a spot on the floor, wipe it up. If the sink looks like it's getting a little bit dirty, it's not the same color white that it normally is, wipe it up, right? Clean it up. Like let's all work together. And I'm trying to impress that upon my children all the time. But exactly, Carol. Like it's not just children at all. It's not. Um, exactly, Leslie. So I say, it is a part of our mental space to clean up, and so that's my intention. Like my room does need to be straightened up. And look, Leslie, just in case, Leslie says that's what she tells her daughters, like, hey, like, what would you the boyfriend say if they see your room this messy, like this is embarrassing? And so she gets her to clean it up. Well, maybe the Lord's saying that to me. He's like, girl, you better clean up your space. You want people to come over and visit you, you better clean up your space. So it does help me feel regulated. It helps me feel accomplished. And so the fact that I got the bathroom cleaned up this morning, I do feel sort of kind of accomplished today. So yay to me. But I do have other things to do today. I do teach tonight. And so, and I have another appointment later in the evening. And I don't really like when I have appointments later in the evening, because then I'm like fighting traffic and everything to try to get here to um, to try to get here and be here and for my class. And today is actually my last day of training for this semester. Woo, 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 woo. This is the last day. This is the last day, which is always a bittersweet day where oh, and that reminds me, I got to send them an email. It's a bittersweet day where we say our goodbyes, but I always tell them there's no need to make it an official goodbye. Like, this is just, you got to move on, and they can always reach out to us and stay connected. Not everybody does. I've got one or two of my former students straggling in on my social media pages, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for those who do try to stay connected, because in all honesty, social media is probably the best place to connect with me, because that's where I'm at. um, Email as well, I see my emails, but for many, well, no, I think I'm wondering if the last class has my old email address. That might be the problem. My old class may have my old email address because I actually had switched over from my I had another email address and I switched over from that. And because I was paying for all these email services and everything. And I'm like, for what? For what? When I've got all of these other emails connected and everything, I was like, this too much, too much. Your girl already got a million emails that she's trying to check. I was like, let's get rid of some of these ones that you got to pay for. It just doesn't make sense. So, but I do have a lot of stuff that I need to get done today because, like I said, yesterday was my official day off, and I really didn't do anything. I did take a nap, which is a plus. I did watch some of Nemesis, which was another plus. I did watch the Nick game because that's a priority, honey. That we got to get our priorities in order. So I did watch the Nick game, and it was amazing. The Knicks did such a amazing job. They had us all in a chokehold because they were down by like 21, 22 points in the last quarter. Yeah. And it was like, oh, come on, guys, we need game one. We need game one. We got home court advantage. We need this. We need this. We need this. And we got it. So to God be the glory. I'm grateful. They pushed through. They kept going. They build off the momentum of the captain. He never lost faith, and I think that's what did it. He didn't lose faith, and so it stimulated and it rejuvenated everybody else. And so sometimes, come on, glory to God. Sometimes there has to be one. When all haywires, everything is going haywires, everything is looking bleak, everybody's going through something, there needs to be one. And maybe we get like the kids when they see the sink dirty and they just like, okay, well, if I see the sink dirty, everybody else sees the sink dirty, let somebody else do it. But sometimes, as easy as it is to let somebody else do it, sometimes that somebody has to be you. In certain seasons, in certain environments, around certain people, you might need to be the one that holds on to the faith and that can stimulate and motivate and encourage and push and ignite something in someone else. So I understand life gets heavy for majority of us. But again, this is where discernment comes into play. We've got to know our seasons. We got to know our people. We've got to ask God, is this the time? Because sometimes there is just one. And referencing back to the Nick game, that was the captain. He was the one that kept the faith, that kept pushing, that kept trying, that kept believing that it was not over. And when the shots started landing, it started to resuscitate everybody else. And then the momentum kicked in. Everybody was on one accord and we ended up taking that game. And let me see, what was the, I don't remember. Uh, uh, Matter of fact, we had them by 11, 11 points. So we were down by 21, 22, and then we won by 11. And this was at like 7 minutes left in the game when we were down. That's a power in faith, y'all. That's a real big power in faith, right? I know some people might look at him like Shaniqua, like you tripping, like that. It was just a basketball queen, like it's just basketball. Nah, that's a prime example of faith. Faith in basketball, but faith in life, right? We use the basketball game just as an example, as a reference to it, but it really is a great example of faith. And how I know this to be even so, okay? Look, we gonna prove the point. We're gonna prove the point even more, because at the end of the game, the announcers and everybody, they come over to the players, and they want to get their feedback, they want to get their take, they want to say, hey, so what transpired in this game, what did y'all do, where was the mindset? So they ask those types of questions. And Jalen Brunson, that's the captain of the Knicks, he didn't have an answer. He was just in this, like, kind of shaking my head, like, yo, I don't even believe we just did that. Like, he was in awe, because again, he knows that they were down by 20 plus points, down by 20 plus points, but then ended up winning the game. So at the 7 minute, there was 7 minutes left to the game, and they were down by 20 some odd points, but then they won the game. They won the game by 11 points. That's a really good example of faith. And the fact that he couldn't explain, and normally Jalen is very eloquent. He will throw it to the fans in a heartbeat. He'd have been like, well, it was the fans, they never gave up on us. And like, so that's always like his go-to saying, right? That's his go-to saying. But he just shook his head and was like, I don't even know. I don't even know. That's the power of the miraculous. Leslie says he set himself up for the win. Can we set ourselves up for the win? We can call this Winning Wednesday. Can we set ourselves up for the win? And how do we set ourselves up for the win? We don't lose faith. No matter what it looks like, no matter how you're down, no matter what's going on, no matter what they're saying, no matter how many problems arise, like, you just keep pushing through, head held high, like, we got to fight this fight. We got to fight this fight no matter what. And yes, it's just a game, right? This is a sample of it being just a game. But then when it's no longer just a game and it's life, then what? We don't. We don't have an, right. Carol says sometimes we don't have an answer for the power that is working. We don't have a justification for it. We can't say, oh, well, it's because I studied really, really hard, or it's because I got this degree in. No. Sometimes there is no answer to it. It's simply an example of, or you just simply say, well, we just never gave up. And for Jalen, his spirit just never gave up. So, how about we take a page from the Knicks playbook today? You think we can do that? I know you're tired. I know you got a lot on your mind. I know everything. I was on the phone with a friend last night, And I was just telling her all the little hits that were coming my way. But there's a little Jalen Brunson in me, right? I'm about that JB life, you know. And I'm just like, I see the things happening, but I'm just going to keep trying. I'm just going to keep trying. I'm not, at the very least, at the very least, even if you don't have the gumption to keep trying, at the very least, just don't give up. That's the bare minimum. The bare minimum to faith is just don't give up. When you see everything going on, pull back. Pull back. All right, God, I see this. What do you want me to do? And God says, just don't give up. Just don't throw in the towel. Just don't start going over to the other bench, congratulating the other team, talking about you did it, you did it, you did it. Because that's another basketball example that happened with the Timberwolves. They was all on the guy because I forget how many minutes left to the game. I think it was like 7 minutes left to the game, if I'm not mistaken. And he had already started going over to congratulate the other team for the win. He counted himself out. And when your star player counts themselves out, there's no hope for the team. Jesus. When your star player, good morning, Kim, when your star player counts themselves out, there is no hope for the team. Their star player on the Timberwolves counted himself out, was like, all right, y'all, good look, y'all did that, we enough is enough. So there's a difference. There's a difference. And I've always said this, Jalen Brunson on the Knicks is just cut a little bit different. There's certain players that are just cut a little bit different. Kobe Bryant, you know, love my life. That was my basketball love. I love me some Kobe. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Um, but it was just cut differently. They called it, with him, it was the Mamba mentality. Thank you, Lord. So the message to the remnant, we got to be cut from a different cloth, y'all. We can't be the same like everybody else. I know we all God's children. You know, that's cute. That's cute. We all God's children. But the remnants got to be able to identify that. We got to be able to self-identify. Like, yeah, I know we all God's children, but I'm just not okay with being like everybody. I'm just not okay having a work ethic like everybody. I'm just not okay with having faith like everybody. Like, I need to be on some next level. It's not that I'm trying to gain brownie points. I'm trying to get in position. I'm trying to get in position. And so somebody has to be cut differently. And when you're cut differently, then it manifests for your good. That's a great example, Lord. Now, I don't know how if you all follow basketball or not, but that's a really great example where one influential person on one team at the 7 minutes left to the game mark would go and offer their congratulations to the opposing team, like y'all did it because they were down. I forget how many points they were down. Let me see. Let me see. How many points were the Timberwolves? It should pick right up because it was oh, it's not picking right up. I figured because it was popular. I guess that game was a while ago, but it was prevalent. Um, how many points were the Timberwolves down when Anthony Edwards conceded? Let's see if they even picked that up. Let's see. Oh. Well, look. Okay. All right. So they were down. The Minnesota Timberwolves were down 33 points, and there was exactly 8 minutes remaining in the game in the fourth quarter. Okay. The Timberwolves were down 33 points, and there were exactly 8 minutes left to the game. Um, okay. All right. Listen, 33 points down with 8 minutes left to the game. The Timberwolves. This was like a week ago. And their star player, Anthony Edwards, went over and shook the hands of the opposing team to say that this is good game to y'all. 33 points with 8 minutes remaining. The Knicks, Jesus, they were down 22 points. Now you might say, well, Shanique, with 33 and 22 is a big difference. Not in basketball, not in basketball time. There was 7 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock when the Knicks were down last night by 22 points. There were 8 minutes and 1 second remaining when the Timberwolves were down by 33 points. Timing is about the same. But peep this, okay? But peep this. Look. I don't want good morning, Leslie Ann. I don't wanna make this about the math, but I don't want you to miss this. The Knicks were down by 22 points. Now, okay, to be fair with the Knicks, we did equal it out. So we ended up by the end of the game, we did get to we were tied, right? So that 22-point deficit was zeroed out by the end of our almost 8 minutes that we had. Then we went into overtime, and then we got 11 extra points. 22 plus 11 class is 33. I look, I don't know. Maybe I'm not teaching it well, but my spirit is doing some type of cartwheels or whatever. Because the point of it, and for those that are just tuning in, like, what on earth is she talking about? The point is, one star gave up by conceding, by going and say, all right, y'all got us. Good job to y'all. Because with a 33-point deficit, he saw no way out. All right, Leslie, have a blessed one. He saw no way out. But then there's another star with a 22-point deficit that said, you know what? Nah, it ain't over until God say it's over. Come on, somebody. Not even to the fat lady saying, that chick can start singing if she want to, but it ain't over until God says it's over. So I'm not going to sit here, throw in the towel. I'm not going to go congratulate them like, y'all got us. Y'all got us. I'm not stopping until the game clock stops us. And they kept the faith. And from one keeping the faith, it built the momentum in the others. And then they were able to tie the game up. And not only were they able to tie the game up, they were able to secure 11 points to be the victors. So all I'm saying, on this winning Wednesday, we're going to retitle it, on this winning Wednesday, don't give up. Don't give up until God says give up. Because God's give up is not a finality. God's give up is a redirection. God's give up could be a signal to say that ain't where you're supposed to be in the first place, and I need you to hit this point so that I can get you over there, right? So God's give up ain't the same, right? It's not the same as man's give up. So my prayer for you all this morning is that you don't give up. That you don't give up on life. That's really what I want to say. That you don't give up on life, that you don't get so consumed by your day-to-day situations that you count yourself out. Don't get to that point. Stop if you're tired. I've been resting a lot. I've been taking naps a lot. I've been laying in the bed a lot because you guys see me in the bed. I do get out of the bed and do a whole bunch of stuff. But there's a lot of times, and recently, this is over the past 2-3 weeks now, the Lord is like, no, bed, lay down, relax. No, that can wait till later. The room's not that bad. It'll hold, because he needs us to have our strength, because we will be the one who will have to fight the fight of faith, and that will journey on, persevere, and encourage others to do the same. So we, the remnant, cannot give up, because there are other people who are watching us, who will be inspired by us, whose momentum is dependent upon us. And if God is saying that all of his children are going to win, then there's got to be one. There's got to be one. So I pray your strength on this day. I pray you connect to the one. So Joyanne, if you're feeling super tired and sleepy on this morning, I pray you connect with the right one that lights the fire underneath you, that gets your momentum stirring, that gets you going, and then you start pummeling through the day, and then now you're motivating and inspiring and encouraging everyone else, and it's like a chain reaction, and that we're all now persevering in the faith that God wants us to be in. So with that, I leave you all, because now I'm motivated, and it seems like when I get motivated, I get hot. So now I'm extra hot. And I'm ready to take on the day. I'm ready to go spread the momentum and spread the joy and spread the peace and keep the faith. I'm ready to be the Jalen Brunson of the day. I'm ready to put the team on my shoulders. I got my second win, because like into the Knicks, I had some time off. I had some time where God was like, yes, baby girl, it's okay for you to rest. There's no games. There's nowhere you need to be. That's that important. Rest, rest, rest. And now that I got my rest, now that I got my momentum back, it is on and popping. So you all go forward. Have a beautiful and blessed winning Wednesday. And I look forward to seeing what God is going to do with all of us once our momentum kicks in, once our faith is put into overdrive, and we are now going to win this game. Amen. All right, you all have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will see you all tomorrow, God willing. Take care, everyone. If it's try to stay cool on this hot day, get you your fan. Make sure you got your fan with you so you can stay cool as you go about your day. Take care, everyone.